Hello and welcome back to my channel, What If Deku 2.0. Join us as we delve into the realms of fanfiction and fantasy, bringing you the best stories and discussions. Today, we're kicking off part 5 of our series, What If Deku W's Class 1A Senior. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content in the future. The author of this story is Jace_is_dead from Archive of Our Own. All the relevant links are in the description. Feel free to say hello to the author on their profile. Now, let's dive into the fanfic. Himiko was nervous. She knew that the others had done all they could to make sure she was caught up with the normal schooling, while Dabai and Izuku had made sure to train with her so she wouldn't be completely helpless when she did the physical exam. But she was still anxious. All of these people had put their time and effort into helping her, and she didn't want to let them down. Izuku ran down the stairs in his usual jacket with a pair of jeans and a white shirt. Are you excited? You're doing the testing today. I'm not sure, she smiled and rubbed her arm a little. What if I don't pass, Izzy? The other smiled softly at her. I don't know. I don't think you'll fail, and sure you might end up in a different class. But as your brother, I'll be proud of what you do no matter what. Himiko smiled widely before pulling Izuku into a hug. Thank you. Of course, he pulled away. Now I'm meeting Hawks and Maruko for some celebratory foods, but keep me updated, okay? You'll be testing with Himari anyway. Don't be scared to ask questions either. He embraced the top of her head with a smile. I gotta go. Make sure the others know where I am so they don't think I'm dead. Bye, Izzy. Have fun. She watched her brother leave with a slight bounce in his step. She was happy he was so happy. She wanted to be like that. You got this, Himiko. Your last name is Midoriya, which means you're destined for greatness. That's right. She turned and smiled at Inko. Everyone in my family is destined for greatness. You're all working so strong. The woman had slight tears in her eyes. Gee's mom, Shinsu came out of his room with a sigh. I swear, you and Izuku with the waterworks. I'm just so proud. She grabbed both of them as she kept crying. My babies are doing so good. Love you too, Mom. You're gonna drown us. Himiko took a deep breath as she walked into the gates of Ua. She bounced as she walked, trying to get rid of all the anxious energy she felt. There were a few other people going into the building around her. She knew the testing was open since some people wanted another chance rather than going into a different class and transferring during the sports festival, though she was confused why Suzuki was testing with her. Himiko, the snake-haired girl, tackled her into a hug. Are you excited? Yeah, a little anxious though. Suzuki kept an arm over her shoulders as she guided them to the written exam area. I don't blame you. I mean, I did good the first round of testing, but since I forfeited during the sports festival, Nedzu said I had to take the test again if I wanted to transfer. Kinda SCK, but what can you do? That's a bummer, Tilda, but at least we can test together. Hell yeah, we're gonna do awesome. Why do you keep checking your phone? Maruko leaned over his shoulder. What's the not adults? Adults chat? It's my sister, my boyfriend, my friend, and me. We don't use it often, but Himi and Himari promised to tell us first when they got their results. Doesn't it take forever to get your results for the tests? Hawks asked before obnoxiously slurping on his smoothie. For the normal test, but since it's the middle of the year and this is more of a placement, you get the results that day. I'm really hoping they pass. I'm sure they'll be fine. Maruko waved her hand before smacking the other hero when he kept slurping. Those two seem like fun anyway. They'll be great. I want that snake girl as my intern next. You'll keep being my intern, right? Hawks tried to give Izuku puppy dog eyes, but the teen only laughed. I would love to keep working with you, Hawks. The hero cheered, but he pretended to cry. I do have to focus on school. Principal Nedzu said by the end of the year, I'll be done with the normal curriculum, and I'm supposed to start working with Power Loader Sensei soon for the support course, and I was going to talk about working with the general education students and the business course on a few things. If I bribe you with a bunch of stuff, will you stay working with me? I want dibs. I've called dibs. Oh, ask him for money. He has a lot of that. I'm not going to ask for money, and I do want to keep working with you, Hawks. It's just wait, I have an idea. I'll have to run it by Principal Nedzu, but it might help with my other ideas. Lay it on me, kid. Well, I noticed that a lot of the courses are separated, yeah? Even when I sometimes worked in the support room, most of the students left me alone. But if I'm going to be working there more this year, and the next I should get to know them right. So I wanted to talk to Power Loader about maybe getting to work with them more. After all, if I'm going to be a hero, I should have people who can help me. So support course for items and tech. Maybe even like my eyes and ears and whatnot. Kid, you already do all of that yourself. But not everyone does. Himi and Himari can get help from me. But what if I'm busy? They'll need someone else. Not to mention Class B doesn't seem to have any ties to that class. And if I'm going to be a hero, I should have a marketing and PR team, right? Even if I work mostly underground, I do want to be able to inspire and help people. They could help me do that. The two watched as the teen got more passionate. I want to be able to unite the courses somehow. It's not fair that the general course gets no training, and if they want to transfer, then they have to fight. They should be able to work with the hero course to get stronger. The business course should meet the people they'll one day work with, support too. Look at you being a hero already. Maruko ruffled his hair with a smirk. I doubt that Rat will say no to you. You could have some of them intern with agencies and heroes. They both looked to Hawks, who shrugged. If they're going to work at an agency one day, then they should see what it's really like. You're right. They could see how to make more weapons specific to certain heroes, how to market a product, anything. Izuku was practically jumping. I really want this to work. Well, come on then. While we wait for your little group to finish testing, let's get this idea going. Fighting the robots had been difficult. According to Suzuki, they were stronger than the original test. After all, it was a placement test, and if they were going to transfer in the middle of the year, they had to be good. The two girls were waiting for the results when Himiko heard it. I asked not to be put in Class A. She thought that was strange. Class B was full. I don't want to be around that freak. Me neither. I hope they boot some of the B class to be stuck with it. Himiko glared at the two. She wanted to hurt them. They had no right to talk about her brother like that. Didn't he win the sports festival, though? He probably cheated. There's no way. Himiko? What's wrong? She looked to Suzuki with slight tears in her eyes. They're being mean. She stood up and grabbed their attention. How dare you? He's worked strong to be where he is. He's more of a hero than any of you will ever be. Oh yeah, one of the guys turned with a sneer. What do you know about that freak? He's a hell of a lot nicer than you, but, Suzuki said, backing Himiko up, you have no right to talk about someone you don't know, especially if they passed the first time and you have to retake it. She smirked. I doubt you even passed. Even if you did, you won't be around long with that stupid mindset. Oh yeah, it's not like you passed either. Actually, I did. You must be really stupid not to recognize me from the sports festival. Her hair slowly turned to snakes, all of them letting out a hiss, and he actually won the entire thing. Why would someone waste their time to fake it if they were going to bleed out? Exactly. Izuku's worked strong, unlike you all, to be a good hero. You shouldn't be mean just because he's different. You too. Everyone stopped and looked to Aizawa. Come with me. Everyone else sit back down and keep quiet while you wait for your results. The group seemed smug as the hero led Himiko and Suzuki to the hall. I'm sorry, Aizawa-sensei, but he's my brother. He's so much better than them. She's right. You agree, don't you? He turned to them and held up his hand. I'm not angry or punishing either of you. I'm glad you stood up for your friend and brother, as well as the talents of my student. They both smiled brightly. I was going to give you the results, but when I heard the argument, I assumed it would be better to tell you away from the others. He pulled out 2 papers and handed them to the girls. Suzuki Himari, Midoriya Himiko. The two girls slowly opened the papers before gasping and cheering, "Welcome to Class 1A. Not adults, adults. Wine Ant, we got in. Your FCK stuck with us, Izuku. Cousin, Izzy, we get to be classmates. DDDDDDD. Single mother, dozens and guys, this is amazing, I'm so proud. Stepdad, woo, good job. Actual adult, good job, Himiko. Family doctor, yeah guys, kick butt. Wine Ant, I have to tell my dad, but we should totally celebrate with Everone. Single mother, yes, I know the others will drag Himi out. Actual adult, maybe we can have a girls' day to celebrate. Wine Ant, yes. Family doctor, let me know when you guys celebrate. I'm a little busy with classes and stuff, but good job. Cousin, I'm so happy im kring gorajift. Stepdad, she's adopted the Midoriya trait of tears. Stepdad, one day Hitoshi will also cry. Wine Ant, we just gotta make him a Midoriya. Single mother, he'll do it in his own time, guys. Single mother, we should be focusing on you guys. Tell the others. This house is a FCK nightmare. Snek, guess who gets to be classmates with Izuku now? Beach. Vampy Beach, we passed. Skin Stealer, that's amazing, guys. Spider Tapeman, let's FCK goo. Ultra Strawberry Dreams, Senpai out here living my dream. Ultra Strawberry Dreams, getting to be in a class with only 2 other women. Robin Hood, one of them is my sister. Himari is like my sister. I have a boyfriend? Ultra Strawberry Dreams, live in the dream. Electric Boogaloo, yeah, good job, highs. Woo woo. Zero Ultra, yay. Electric Boogaloo, we love it show. Go girl, give us nothing. Zero Ultra, you're welcome. Baku, bought time losers. Ultra Red, guys, this means we all have to get into 1A when it's our turn. Possum, to make a racer's life a living hell. Spider Tapeman, Hitoshi would never go for that. That's his hero right there. Electric Boogaloo, I thought his hero was Izuku. Did that change? Skin Stealer, hide your skin. Robin Hood, I'm your hero. Possum, just so y'all know he's crying violently right now. Skin Stealer, I'm leaving the country. No one will ever hear from me again. I am going to decompose, I can't do this. Robin Hood, Hitoshi, I'm your hero. Skin Stealer, tell mom and other mother they were great. I'll be leaving and never coming back. Zero Ultra, mom and mom too said they love you too, but think you're overreacting. Skin Stealer, overreact these nuts, I'm going to Canes. Electric Boogaloo, was this supposed to be a Seret? Spider Tapeman, I think only Senpai didn't know Elmao. Ultra Red, I thought we all agreed he was our hero when we got him the jacket. Possum, he can't text right now because of the tears, but he's blabbering about loving you all so much, and now I'm watching Pro Heroes Hawks and Maruko laugh at him. Snek, would it be weird if we added Pro Heroes to this chat? I feel like it would, but I kinda want to. // Possum, let me ask Ig. Possum, they said we can, but we also have to add them to the not adults chat. Snek deal. Possum has added Maruko and Hawks. Hawks has changed their name to Burb. Maruko has changed their name to Energizer Bunny. Energizer Bunny, which one of you is the snake hair one? Snek, me. I'm Suzuki Himari, and I just got into one a Let's FCK Guu. Energizer Bunny, good job. You're my intern now. Snek. Burb, I don't think THTS Hoet Walkers. Baku, Jesus Christ, how are you worse than Sparky? Electric Boogaloo, hi. Burb, also who's who? I know Possum is Dead Buddy Guy and Robin Hood is Midoriya. Possum, I have a FCK name? Skin Stealer, no you don't. Skin Stealer, also hi, I'm Shinsu Hitoshi, I'm Izuku's little brother. Vampy Beach, Izuku's sister Himiko. Zero Ultra, Dead Buddy Guys? Younger brother Shadow Himura. Spider Tapeman, Hantasiro, he kidnapped us. Robin Hood, I haven't kidnapped anyone. Electric Boogaloo, lies and slander Denki Kaminari. Bakugu Katsuki. Ultra Strawberry Dreams, Mina Ashido. Ultra Red, Kirishima Ijiro. Mina Stop Flirting with the Heroes. Ultra Strawberry Dreams, No 3. Skin Stealer, Back to Me, I will now be leaving the country. Never thought learning English would be helpful. Baku, you're not leaving then country Donbass. Skin Stealer, I'm already halfway out the window beach. Zero Ultra, Mom too said she would use her quirk to pull all of the threads out of your shirt until you came back. Skin Stealer, I'm suddenly sitting in the living room like nothing happened. As soon as Izuku was awake, he carefully got out of bed, trying not to disturb Dabai in the process, and went downstairs to get ready like it was any normal day. Except it wasn't, because since they were officially on break before the beginning of the semester, he had things to do. The thing he wanted to do while everyone else was asleep was talk to Mayumi. He knew that she was thinking about hiring more people again since the cafe was getting more popular. Apparently, when 3 heroes limelight heroes show interest in a little cafe, everyone wants to go there. So he was going to suggest hiring Rei. The woman still wanted a job, and he figured the cafe would be a good idea. Then he was going to go back home and lock Himiko and Hitoshi in his room. Maybe call over the others, but he couldn't decide yet. Inko had to go into work and Rei was going to watch the others while Izuku and Dabai finally went on their date. He was excited, but he was also nervous. While the group liked to make jokes about them already being married or doing the relationship backwards, he still wanted to do it right, to have a fun first date like normal couples did. Hey Midoriya, Mayumi waved before going back to the coffee she was making. Once she was done, she handed it off before going around the counter and hugging Izuku. What brings you in today? Well, I know you were thinking about hiring more people since we're pretty busy now. Those hero friends of yours have done wonders for our business. Right, so I was thinking maybe we could hire Rei Himura. She's looking for a small job to mostly waste free time and not have to use Endeavor's money. Mayumi hummed a little. I don't see a problem with it. I have a few more candidates I want to go through, and if you're willing, I would love to have you sit in on them. After all, the manager should be there. Izuku gasped. I'm the manager now. Yep, I'm the owner and still make all the final decisions, obviously. The teen nodded along. But there's no reason that when you work at nights or whenever that you shouldn't be in charge. I never bothered to give you a title before since it was only us. But you'll now be getting a title, maybe a little more responsibilities, and drum roll please. He rolled his eyes and tapped his fingers on the counter, a raise. Really? Of course, and I saw this thing online on how to get better tips, so you'll be helping me with that. Now go back home, tell your family the good news, and enjoy the rest of your day, all right? I will. Bye, Mayumi. When he got home, he saw Rei, Shadow, and Himiko all awake, though he wasn't surprised Dabai and Hitoshi were still asleep. Hey guys. Shadow nodded to him before focusing on his breakfast. Welcome back. Where did you turn off to? Hi Izzy. Well, I stopped by my work. I know you were looking for a small job, and I was thinking you could work with me. Mayumi said she'd love to have you. Are you sure? I remember hearing it was pretty small. It is, but since Hawks and Maruko go there a lot and Uwabami visits, still we've gotten more popular. So we're making more than enough money to add some extra people. And it's still a small-time job, so I think you'd be perfect. I think it's a good idea, Mom. Rei smiled and ruffled Shadow's hair softly. Also, me and Himiko were interested in taking ballet classes. Yeah. We're going to twirl the villains away. That's an amazing idea. Did you know there are studies that show doing ballet can actually really help with physical activities? Be careful, though I've seen some horror stories. Izuku shuddered a little while Himiko laughed. We got this. We'll be the most elegant kickers out there. You could join at Mina's studio. Hitoshi walked in rubbing his eyes. She said they had a few openings. Oh, let's ask her, Shadow. Okay. Himiko ran out of the room. dragging the other behind her and up the stairs. So, Hitoshi leaned against the counter Izuku. Toshi. Izuku mimicked him with a smile. Are you ready for your date? As soon as he was reminded of it, Izuku slammed his head against the counter. I'll take that as a no. What am I supposed to do? I know he said not to dress up, but I don't want to go on a date in sweats. Did you ask Suzuki? She keeps trying to make me wear heels. I don't trust that woman. Why don't I help? Ray offered. You've gotten me a home and a job. Helping you prepare for a date with my son is the least I can do. Ray, you don't. No, I insist. Come on. She carefully started tugging him towards the stairs. Hitoshi, make sure Dabai gets dressed nicely. I'll put him in a 3-piece banana suit. Izuku rolled his eyes while Ray chuckled. They both knew he wouldn't actually let Dabai suffer. When they got to his room, Ray was quick to wake Dabai up and shove him out. Mom, it's... She slammed the door in his face with a smile, hearing the teen groan from the other side. Thanks, Ray. No problem, honey. Now let's see what you have. Dabai glared at the door a little longer before sighing and going downstairs. Hitoshi was laying across the couch while Himiko and Shout sat on the floor looking at videos on the computer. Are those ballerinas? We're taking ballet. Yeah, I want to add the shoes to my costume. They'll look so cute. Fair enough. You losers want to help me get ready for this date? Yes. Himiko shot up and tackled Dabai, while Shouto just shrugged. I already told them I'm making you wear a 3-piece banana suit. That got Shouto to laugh. Wait, if you guys share a room, aren't all your clothes in there? Mom will probably pick an outfit for him and go into her room so we can take over in a minute. The group waited before they heard both doors close. Let's go. Once they closed the door, Dabai threw most of his clothes on the floor and stared at them. I feel like this isn't going to help. Shush, Shouto, you know nothing. I don't think any of us do, Hitoshi pointed out. Most of us haven't even had a crush, let alone an actual date. Maybe if you weren't a little, you'd ask Blasty. I will dangle your corpse out the window for all to see. I have an idea. Himiko raised her hand. What if we Google it? I remember seeing a montage of a girl changing clothes when her friends were helping her for a date. I'm not taking chick flick logic. You got a better idea? Dabai glared at Hitoshi. That's what I thought. Himiko, pull up the chick flick. Izuku looked in the mirror with a smile. Instead of his usual joke or plain shirts, Ray had found a short-sleeved black button-up with a white shirt underneath. She had also grabbed blue high-waisted jeans. They had both worked to braid a section of his hair before putting it all into a short ponytail with a little bow. Look at you, Ray messed with his bangs before pulling out her phone. Let me take a picture to send to the others. They'll love it. Izuku blushed a little, but let her take the picture. Now, do you feel ready? Nope. She laughed a little. You know, there was someone before NG and I didn't feel ready then either. She grabbed his hand with a smile. But I've seen the way my son looks at you, the things you've done for him. When I was with NG for so long, I worried that maybe love didn't actually exist. But then I saw my kids again. I saw Mitsuki and Masaru, and now I get to see you and Dabai. I really hope you get that chance again, Ray. He hugged the woman, trying not to get tears on her. You deserve it. Thank you, honey. Now let's go downstairs and wait for the others, okay? The group had finally finished watching all of the random montages. They had settled on an outfit, black jeans with a black t-shirt and a dark maroon leather jacket. Should I put makeup on? Dabai poked at his face a little with a hum. Depends. I think eyeliner would look cool. I'll do the eyeliner, but I was wondering about covering up some of the scaring. The 3 teens paused. Dabai, are you serious? Himiko asked a little confused. I don't see why you should. Izuku thought you were hot when you were bleeding out. You wouldn't want me to cover up my scar if I was going on a date. There's no reason you should either. I hate that all of you have logic, Dabai sighed. Fine, Himiko, get the eyeliner. Woo! Once she came back, Dabai carefully put some on his waterline, trying his best not to stab himself in the process. I think he's date ready. If those montages told us anything, as soon as he walks downstairs, Izzy will gasp and fall in love on the spot. Isn't he already in love or something? I still think they're secretly married. Dabai rolled his eyes. Everyone out. One of us has a date. They all tumbled out of the room before the three fell down the stairs. Good job, ID. Dabai cut himself off, seeing Izuku standing at the bottom and trying to help them up. He didn't look much different than normal, but something felt different. Idiots. You look good, Dabai. The white-haired teen nodded his head a little dumbly. I think Izzy broke him. Oh, for sure. Shut up. Dabai shoved them a little. And, you look good too, Izuku. Thank you. All right, you too. Let me get a picture. Mom. Oh, hush, Dabai. Let me have my fun. Izuku only chuckled and grabbed Dabai's hand, posing for the camera with a large smile. The others will love this. Mom, Dabai groaned and covered his face. Can we leave now? Izuku nodded, waving to the others before leaving. So where are we going? Izuku asked, still holding on to Dabai's hands. Well, the little shits aren't completely useless. Izuku punched him in the arm for that, so they gave me some ideas. It's a surprise for you, though. Ah, come on. I want to know. Nope, it's a secret, Izuku groaned before bumping shoulders with him. But how's school and stuff going? You already know all of this. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Izuku rolled his eyes. Well, I've been making that plan with Nedzu. I at least get a week break before Aizawa-sensei wants me back at school to work more. And I'm sure he'll drag Himari and Himiko into training to get them started. He even talked about bringing in more heroes. The wild cats, right? I remember you geeking about them. I wasn't geeking, I'm excited. Exactly, about heroes because you're a hero nerd. Whatever, Dabai, but how's work? Well, some of the other kids I teach have been theorizing that I'm some retired pro who got into a major fight before taking up the job. I've tried to tell them that that's not what happened, but the others just encourage them, especially Shadow. Never thought he'd be a conspiracy theorist. I kinda see it. Sure you do. They finally made it to one of the food trucks. Let's get some food. I love this truck. Once they had finished their food, Dabai started leading him towards the forest, a very familiar forest. What are we doing here? Well, you like walking. It's peaceful, and Dabai rubbed the back of his neck. It kinda has a special place in my heart, you know. Because you were able to tell me who you were. Well, that, and I like to think it was the first time we actually saw each other. Dabai sat down at the same tree with Izuku next to him. After you told me everything, it felt like I knew who you were. An amazingly kind, beautiful guy who thought he was weak because life wasn't fair to you. The teen was blushing now, but he still grabbed Dabai's jaw. And I saw someone who had been through so much and was still willing to help his family. You still helped me. Dabai smiled into Izuku's palm. You're the amazing one, Dabai. And you're the one who's going to be the greatest hero ever. Izuku smiled. I wouldn't go that far. I would. The two stared at each other, seeming to get lost in each other before Dabai whispered, Is it okay if I kiss you? Please. The two got closer, Izuku keeping a hold of Dabai's hair and jaw, while Dabai rested his hands on Izuku's side. Finally leaning in, they closed their eyes before their lips touched. It didn't feel so much like fireworks as it did a campfire, the soft heat keeping them warm while they basked in each other for a moment longer before leaning away. Izuku couldn't help the small sigh that left him as they parted, leaning into the heat before realizing there was definitely something close to burning. Dabai, Izuku looked down at the other's hands and started laughing as he realized Dabai's palms had heated up. I am so sorry. No, it's okay, Izuku kept laughing. He took a deep breath before leaning against Dabai, making sure the other hadn't let him go. It's kinda cute that I sing makes your quirk act up. Cute until I set you on fire. Izuku knew he was trying to joke, but he only smiled. You'd never burn me. I have. But you wouldn't now. No, I wouldn't. The two stayed laying there under the tree, kissing every few minutes, until it started to get dark out. We should probably head back before they think we died or something. We're the couple that dies in the horror movie. Really? I thought we'd be the killers, like Billy and Stu from Scream. Oh yeah? And which would you be? Billy, obviously. I make all the plans, and you just do as I say. Izuku smirked as Dabai gawked at him. Is that so? The older grabbed him and lifted him into the air, spinning him around a bit. I'm just your loyal little follower then? Dabai put me down. Parental guidance. Rei, Izuku and Dabi. Inko, Anna, look at my baby and his boy. Fayumi, my brother looks so cute. Look at how he's looking at Izuku. Mitsuki, yeah, look at them go. Masaru, I hope they had a fun time. Fayumi, I'm sending this to the other chat too. They have to see. Not adults, adults. Actual adults. Look what mom sent me. Izuku and Dabi. Family doctor Io, my brother cleans up. Cousin, I helped Dabai with the outfit. Wine aunt, look at my boys, they look hot. Pet rabbit, da lamb, the boys clean up. Pet rabbit, at pet bird, come look at this. Pet bird, that's my intern right there, let's go get your mans. Single mother, Jartiji Firkfif guys, we are also in this chat. I mean thank you but. Stepdad, Iki looks hot right. Single mother? Wine aunt, Dabai out here getting smew off. Cousin, did you? I need to know. Single mother, Dabai's quirk acts up. Wine aunt, oh my god. So, you're in his bed? Family doctor, damn Dabai get it. Actual adult, wear protection. Stepdad, we only kissed Fayumi, holy shit. Wine aunt, in her defense you literally sleep together, and have like 7 kids. Cousin, I'm one of them. Pet rabbit, y'all did do it backwards like WTF. Wine aunt, that's what I'm saying. Stepdad, I hate this chat. Dabai opened his eyes slowly. Normally he woke up to Izuku moving or his alarm going off, but for once it was Dabai who was awake first, and he kind of liked it. It wasn't often that he got to see Izuku just lay there, relaxing under the warmth and sleeping peacefully. Shifting a little, he reached around before finding his phone and checking the time. It wouldn't be long before Izuku was waking up then. He moved them around so he could see Izuku's face and carefully began caressing his cheek until he woke up. When green eyes met his, he smiled. Hey, Bunny. The teen blushed a little but smiled back. Bunny. That jacket you always wear, Izuku laughed a little. Did we ever tell you where I got it? Don't think so. Well, when I was waiting for my results for the entrance exam, the others were so certain I'd get in they asked Kirishima's moms, Haku and Sakura, to help them get me a present. Apparently they wanted the squad big brother to be official. Sounds like the sappy stuff they'd do. Izuku chuckled before kissing Dabai's forehead. I gotta get ready for work and so do you, the older groaned, pretending to flop around without letting Izuku go. Dabai. The other was finally able to break free, still laughing as Dabai glared at him. Come on, we'll see each other later. I know, I just hate working. Izuku rolled his eyes and finally got up, quickly changing into jeans and a button-up, grabbing his jacket and throwing it over his shoulder. Get dressed and I'll have breakfast ready. You're the best. Are you excited? Izuku asked as he and Rei walked to the cafe. I bet Mayumi will love you. I hope so. I think it will be fun for us to work together. While Rei might show a little more emotion than Shadow, she was still rather calm and subdued. He hoped the job might help her come out of her shell more. She'll conduct the normal interview while I set everything up. She knows I'd be a little too biased. Rei nodded along. Because you're dating my son. The teen blushed a little but waved his arms. And not like that. More of well, she's heard me talk about everyone. Apparently I made Kaken sound too nice, and she wasn't ready when he stopped in one day. The woman frowned a little. Bakugo is a lovely young man. That's what I said. The two laughed as they entered the store. Miss Himura, it's a pleasure to meet you. Mayumi shook her hand with a large smile. Let's get started, shall we? No need to waste time. Of course. Mayumi led her to one of the booths while Izuku began setting everything up. Thank you for letting me have this interview. Oh, please, no thanks needed. Mayumi just waved her hand a bit, looking over her papers. All right, name, age, any education you might have, and quirk. Himuri Ray, I'm 42. I have my high school degree, and my quirk is called Frost. Oh, haven't seen many ice quirks lately. She wrote it all down before humming. And why do you want to work here? Well, after a few personal matters, I found myself a little bored at home. I felt a little bad just sitting around while others did so many things, so I planned to look for a job. But then Izuku suggested I try here, and it seemed like a good idea. Another honest person. We need those. Mayumi looked a few things over before smiling. Well, Himuri, when do you want to start? Oh, the woman was a little surprised. Whenever, though I would like to work mornings if that's possible. Yeah, no problem. You'll work with me mostly then, though I'm sure you'll be stuck with Midoriya every now and again, the woman teased, getting eye roll from Izuku. But let's have you come in tomorrow morning to get started. Thanks you, Mayumi. Ray bowed before turning to Izuku. Have a good day, honey. Thanks, Ray. Be safe. Once she left, Izuku ran over to Mayumi and gave her a hug. I'm so glad. I can't wait to work with Ray. Yeah. The woman patted Izuku's head before fixing her braided hair. But don't forget, we're hiring more than just her. You're helping me with more interviews today, Mr. Manager. Yay! He clapped a little. Can I have a clipboard to look intimidating? Do you even have to ask? Uraraka was nervous. She had never tried for a job before. Sure, she had helped her parents, but they didn't want her to work. But she wanted to work, and she could do it now. The cafe wouldn't pay her enough to move out or anything, but it would give her enough that she wouldn't have to take money from her parents. She looked down at her clothes. When she called, the woman hadn't mentioned a dress code, so she had thrown on her white shoes with a white pleated skirt and a pink blouse. Casual enough, but still professional. She would kill this. Walking in the cafe felt just as nice as it had sounded. The Sunflower Cafe was a fantastic name for this place with all its soft colors and warm feelings. Looking around, she spotted another teenager behind the counter making a drink. He had dark green hair pulled into a small ponytail with his bangs still hanging out. There were freckles splattered all over his cheeks that seemed to also scatter across his neck and arms. He wore a simple black button-up tucked into dark jeans. She felt like this guy definitely also fit the Sunflower Cafe name. Hi there, he waved her over. My name's Midoriya Izuku. You can call me Izuku. I'm the manager. Is there anything I can get you to drink or eat? I'm actually here for an interview? The older only smiled. I know. You're Araka Ochako, right? She nodded a little surprised. Mayumi, the owner, is finishing some stuff up right now, so she'll be a minute. And don't worry about paying, it's on the house. Do you? Do you have strawberry milk and matcha? You're in luck, we do. Why don't you take one of the booths and I'll meet you over there? She nodded again and sat down nearby, waiting for the other teen to join her. After a moment, he came over with 3 drinks and the promised matcha. Thank you so much. No problem. He sat down across from her and took a few sips of his drink. While we wait, why don't you tell me a bit about yourself? You're in your last year of middle school, right? Any idea where you want to go next? Oh, yes. I actually want to be a hero. I'm planning on applying to UA. She whispered the last part a little. A lot of people from her school would make fun of her for wanting to be a hero even though her family was poor, but she was willing to work. Really? Not this guy though? He somehow looked more excited than her. What's your quirk? Are you shooting for 1A? My quirk is called zero gravity. Anything I touch with all 5 fingers becomes weightless, and yeah, I really hope I get in. Izuku was practically vibrating. That's amazing. I would love to ask more questions about your quirk sometime. Do you plan on being a rescue hero? You should totally go for a space theme. I was and I want to. 13 is one of my favorite heroes. I love them too. Did you see their latest rescue? I couldn't stop watching it. Uraraka paused for a moment. Oh, if you don't mind me asking, are you in high school? Yes, I am, I go to UA, class 1A actually, she gasped. Really? What's it like? It's pretty awesome actually. My sister and friend were able to transfer, so it's not just me anymore. Huh? Oh, my teacher has a habit of expelling a lot of people. Apparently I was good enough to stay. That's amazing. Uraraka clapped her hands together with a smile. What's your quirk? Oh, Izuku rubbed his neck a little. Sometimes he forgot not everyone knew. Most the time he didn't have to tell people because they didn't know him. The last person he told was probably Dabai's siblings. I'm, quirkless actually. The girl stared at him for a long moment, and Izuku feared for the worst before she gasped. Really? So you must be like a good fighter, right? The older paused for a moment before smiling. I've trained since I was younger, so I like to think so. Do you know any good cheap places to train? I've been wanting to train for a while, but my family isn't exactly well off. I know the perfect place. I see you two are getting along well. They both turned to see Mayumi holding a clipboard and smirking. Nice to meet you, Uraraka. The two shook hands while Izuku moved over to let the woman sit down. Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for letting my interview. Most people didn't want me because of my age. Mayumi only waved her hand. Oh please, I've had this guy since he started high school. As long as you're okay with the hours, then I don't care. She looked down at the clipboard. Speaking of which, are you okay with working later hours? Mostly after school stuff and maybe a night shift, but you won't be working alone. That's actually perfect for me. Good. When can you start? Huh? Uraraka looked between the two confused. Don't you have to ask me more questions? I heard most of what you and Midoriya were talking about, and those were most of my questions. Plus, we have a lot of teens coming in. She nudged Izuku a little, who rolled his eyes. So you'll definitely be a favorite, I'm sure. You'll mostly work with Midoriya, who does most of the night shifts since we stay open for some underground heroes. I can start tomorrow. Is that okay? That's perfect. We'll see you tomorrow. Once they finished with interviews, Izuku was happy. They had said no to people since a lot of them just wanted the chance to meet a pro, which wasn't a problem, but it was also clear they weren't actually interested in working, especially when some of the older interviewees learned Izuku would be telling them what to do most of the time. So they settled for only having Rei and Uraraka. Izuku sat at the kitchen counter, messing with his gas mask, when Denki and Katsuki walked in, both looking like they'd rather be anywhere else. Are you two okay? Izuku asked hesitantly, taking his headphones off. He didn't doubt they were friends, but the two of them were hardly ever just the two of them. Usually one of the others would be with them. So seeing only the two blondes together put him a little on edge. So you've been building your own stuff for a while, right? Denki asked, looking nervous. Yes. Aizawa-sensei and Power Loader-sensei also plan on having me as a licensed support tech by the end of the year. Cool. So Katsuki rolled his eyes and nudged the other blonde before speaking. We want to build our own our costumes, and you're the only one in this family who knows how to do shit. Really? I mean, I expected Denki, but Kaken. Wait, you expected me? Denki sounded shocked. I mean, I'm not exactly the smartest, so. Denki, that's not what I'm talking about. He patted the other on the shoulder. I mean, you seem to have an interest for it. You listened when I ranted about the new soles for my shoes. Because they're awesome. See? Izuku only smirked. Kaken, though, was not expecting that. I want to be the best, so I need to make sure I have the best. That means either you make them or I make them. You think I'm the best? Katsuki only rolled his eyes, but the teen was blushing as he tried to ignore Izuku. Okay, it's kinda hard to teach this stuff, but I'll do my best. Why don't you guys come up with ideas or drawings for what you want? Then we'll go from there. Awesome, Denki cheered. I've been wanting to add something to my costume. Since you use charged bullets, maybe I could do something like that. I definitely want a stick to hit people with. I'm gonna make the coolest gauntlets. More like second coolest. Have you seen Izuku's? No shit I have. But mine will be giant bombs. Loser, not whatever white knight shit he is going on. Katsuki waved his hand dismissively. It's not white knight Kaken. It's just the form I liked best. It was either metal looking, or it would look like someone just took the shape tool on MS Paint and went crazy. White Knight. Screw Kaken, I think they're cool Izuku. Thank you Denki, Katsuki groaned and slammed his head on the counter. Okay, go grab some of the drawing papers from my room. Can we use your sketchbook? You touch my sketchbook and they'll never stop finding you. The electric user lifted his hands before backing away slowly, going to look for the papers while Katsuki grabbed different pens and pencils. Now, with some of this stuff we can just make at home, but I can probably get it cleared and work on them at school if you guys want. Oh, work on mine. Denki jumped up and down, almost dropping the papers. You can work on my shit when you're licensed and we're all at UA. Of course, Kaken. Sunflower fam. Uraraka, I know this is for work, but I don't have Izuku's number, and I wanted to make sure I had the right place. Mayumi, don't sweat it, girl. Y'all can use this however you want. Talk shit, Ida. Midoriya, yeah, Elmao Mayumi's pretty chill. It was just us before, so this is a nice change of pace. Midoriya, but you're at Garden Variety Gym, right? Uraraka, yes, thank you so much. Himura, ask for Dabai, that's my son, he's a teacher there. Uraraka, thank you Miss Himura. Himura, just Ray works honey, good luck and have fun. Uraraka looked up at the sign and took a breath before walking in. She could hear people working out on one side while the other sounded like people fighting or running. She had to admit the place had a weird name since the gym was anything but garden variety. Hi there. A woman with long black hair and slightly tan skin walked up. A small smile on her lips. My name's Sakura. How can I help you? Hi, my name's Uraraka and I was wondering if... She had to think for a moment. She hadn't been to a gym like this before. I wanted to start training and one of my coworkers suggested I come here. Another one told me to ask for Dabai. They said he was a teacher here? The woman paused before smiling wide. Well, why don't we get you set up? I'm sure Dabai would love a new student. She began guiding Uraraka to one of the back offices. Waving to a few other people on the sparring and running side, Uraraka quickly noticing that they were around her age. You know most of his students are around your age. Really? Really? He's such a sweet young man. She sat at the desk and pulled out some papers. If you don't mind me asking, who are your coworkers? Oh, well, one of them. She told me to call her Ray. She said Dabai was her son, and the other. He told me to call him Izuku. Said he trained here, and it was cheap. It is. Midoriya is one of our longest students. He's been going here for a very long time. Before his mother was making more money, he would come here for classes. But we like to think our personality made him stay. The two laughed a little before Sakura handed the papers over. So this has our rates, classes, teachers, hours, everything. I will tell you Dabai tends to teach more quirk-based combat as well as the basics. So don't be scared to branch out as well. My wife, Haku, and I have also been teaching for a long time and have a few different styles under our belts. Wow, she read over all the classes. And you don't charge much? Of course not, just enough to keep the lights on and our life comfortable. We want all people to be able to exercise or train no matter their status. She slipped another paper across the desk. We also have something set up for those who can't afford our prices. It's a bit different. but if need be, it can be helpful. Thank you so much, she smiled widely. With what Sunflower Cafe was paying and the rates of the gym, she would be able to pay for it easy and still have money left over. I'll have to come back, maybe when I get my first paycheck, but I would love to work out here. I will also let you know if you ever come just to hang out, then it's fine. Sakura nodded to the group outside the office. Our son and his friends hang out here all the time. Of course, if they train, they pay, but as long as they just lounge around, then it's no problem. Uraraka looked out at the group for a moment. Maybe she wasn't sure if she wanted to. She never really got along with people at her school, some making fun of her for being poor, others for wanting to be a hero for the money. But there were some she was at least friendly with. Thank you so much. I'll be back. I look forward to it, Uraraka. No adults allowed. Cat Keeper Shinsu Hitoshi. Hermit the Frog Kaminari Denki. Cat Bakugu Katsuki. Bubblegum Ashido Mina. Milk Todoroki Shadow. Strawberry Kirishima Ijiro. Hollywood Siro Hanta. Midoriya Hamura Household. Dog Natsuo. Penguin Ray. Dove Fayumi. Rabbit Izuku. Feral Cat Dabai. Normal Cat Shadow. Bat Himiko. Panda Hitoshi. Vedinko. Nickname for chats. Ray tied her hair up and dusted her apron off. She looked around the small cafe before taking a deep breath and joining Mayumi behind the counter. You look great, Hamura, the woman complimented with a large smile. Cafe ready if you ask me. I'm glad. She looked around the counter and noted the different machines. So what should we do first? Look at you ready to work too. All right, we'll start off simple and I'll show you the recipe book. Mayumi pulled out a binder. Now, some people might ask for something not in this, which is fine. If that happens, feel free to ask them about it or look it up. Most of our customers are pretty understanding. Right. Mayumi handed her the binder. So I'll let you read through this during the rush. Then once it calms down, we can work on making more of our regular stuff. Thank you. No problem. Now get to studying. I'm so glad we get a small break. Nimuri stretched her arms above her head. Hisashi nodded along, looking at his phone. I know. All those papers. He paused with a smile, looking at a storefront. Hey, this is where Show's kid works. We should stop in. I've heard it's good. Didn't Shouta say that Midoriya usually works nights? If he's not here, it's fine. Besides, I want some sugar and coffee. Before Hisashi could open the door, though, Nimuri grabbed his arm with a gasp. I can't go in there. Why not? The hero gestured down to herself, rather than her hero costume or his business look. She was in sweatpants and a crop top, with her hair up and a medical mask to help conceal her identity. Nem, you dress like this all the time. Yeah, but there isn't usually a beautiful woman working the counter. She pointed through the window, Hisashi having to squint a little to see who she was talking about. It was a woman, likely a little older than them, with long white hair tied into a ponytail, wearing a light blue shirt with jeans and an apron. The woman was smiling politely at a costumer as she handed them their drink. I mean, she is pretty. I'm telling Shouta you're cheating on him. Shut up, but she's at her job. Not to mention she's probably seen worse. Come on, you can flirt with her. The blonde dragged her in, ignoring her pitiful attempts to escape. Welcome to the Sunflower Cafe. What can I get started for you? The woman asked with a polite smile. There was another woman behind her with braided hair and dark skin nodded along, like she was encouraging the other woman. Hi, I'll have a large black coffee with some room left for creamer and sugar. The woman nodded and began writing down the order and one of those strawberry cakes. Of course, are you two paying together? Nah, she's on her own. Nimuri glared at him as he fished his wallet out and paid. Once he walked away, she stepped up. Hi, the woman smiled again. I'll get one of those berry smoothies, also a large, and a chocolate muffin. Good choices, those are some of my favorites. Then you must have amazing taste. Nimiri immediately slapped a hand over her mouth while Hisashi laughed at her. I'm so sorry. You're at work. I should not be flirting with you. The woman only chuckled. It's quite all right, miss, especially from someone as beautiful as yourself. The hero couldn't help but blush, though knowing the woman didn't mind a little flirting, she was all for it now. Well, if I'm beautiful, then you're like a goddess. She leaned over the counter. Do I get to know the name of such a goddess? Rei Himura, but please call me Rei. She handed the muffin and drink to Nimiri. Do I get to know your name then? Nimiri Kayama, just Nimiri works, but only for you. Rei giggled. Well, thank you, Nimiri. It was fun talking to you. I hope to see you again. You too. I don't think I'll be able to live without seeing your face or hearing your voice again. Nimiri paid and joined Hisashi, who looked like he was choking. Holy shit, Nem. That was so cheesy and stupid. Shut up. It got the pretty lady to laugh. What are you working on? Hitoshi draped himself along Izuku's back, looking over his shoulder at the papers on the table. Are you taking over the school? What? No. He turned a bit to look at his brother with a frown. Why would I take over the school? I don't know. Just seems like something you'd want to do. Izuku rolled his eyes before going back to the papers. No, Hitoshi, I'm not taking over the school. Boring. What are you doing then? Well, I noticed that most of the classes are pretty closed off. You don't really interact with any other classes than your own, which seems like a bad idea considering we'll all be going into the same field and it would be better to build connections now rather than later. Not to mention a lot of the rivalry that goes on could cause problem later, like how some of the general students don't like the hero course. Hell, how Class A and Class B have some rivalry going on, even though we should be working together to make everyone a better hero in the long run. So, you are taking over the school? No, Izuku groaned, but Hitoshi only smirked. I want to create ways the different classes can interact. Being the only student for a whole semester gave me a very different experience, and having classes with power loader next semester changes things. I work in the support room a lot, but I don't even know most of their names. Oh, you're gonna be the avatar then? Izuku stared at him for a moment before sighing. Yes, Hitoshi, I want to be the avatar. Cool, so what's your plan so far? The older perked up at that, grabbing a bunch of papers and handing them to Hitoshi. My idea for the general studies classes was to see what they really wanted to do. Some of them want to be heroes, some wanted into the support course, business. Whatever they originally wanted, they should take classes after school, or during a free period to get better at those things so they have a chance to become those things. Maybe have some of the people in those classes help them or work with them. He went through a few more papers. Surprisingly, support and business are the easiest ones. Just give them the chance to talk to and question the hero course. If they know who they work with or see someone they want to work with, then it gives them the chance to get their feet wet. Let business create a PR team for a random student and see what their plans would be. Let support work with different or more diverse quirks. Let them blow things up and try to replicate existing items for the courses. Izuku was practically bouncing as he listed off the ideas. You're really passionate about this. Of course I am. I might want to be an underground hero, but I want others to be the best heroes out there. I want people to have the chance to grow and become better. He turned back to Hitoshi and grabbed his shoulders. I want this school to be a place for you and our friends to grow and become the best heroes possible. Jesus, Izuku, you're gonna make me cry. Don't cry. He picked his brother up into a hug. I just want what's best for you guys. You all mean so much to me. Not helping with the crying problem. No adults allowed. Cat keeper, hey Google, how do I change my last name? Hermit the frog, you don't like Midoriya? Cat, his last name isn't Midoriya dipshit. Bubblegum, wait, why not? Cat keeper, I just never changed it egg. Milk, why do you want to change it now? Unless you're getting married and you want it to be a secret like my brother and Izuku. Hermit the frog, Shouto I love Oyu, but they aren't Amries. I called dibs on Flower Girl. Strawberry, I think it's manly to want to change your name. You want to change it to Midoriya, right? Catkeeper. Yeah, my brother just went on a long rant about how he wants to change the school to make it better for us and how we're really important to him. So I did the only Midoriya thing ever and almost cried. Hollywood. Dude, this entire time, I thought you kept your last name for like your old parents or something. Catkeeper. No, they were garbage. Mom is the best, and I love her and my siblings. Cat. Do you actually want to change your name, or do you think you have to just because your guys were shitty and the vampire changed her name? Catkeeper. I want to. I just don't know when or how. Strawberry. I can help D. Strawberry. Mama changed her name after Mary Mom, and I remember most of it. Hermit the Frog. Dude, you should totally do it after getting into 1A. That'd be cool. Hollywood. You woo-o do it. Milk. It could be like a little reward. Fayumi says you need those after doing a task. Bubblegum. A little treat for a little guy. Catkeeper. Cool, so I just have to get all the paperwork done and then somehow get into 1A to make my family proud so I can actually be worthy of it. Hollywood. That is not what any of us meant, and you know it. Catkeeper. Fully aware but traumatized orphan brain trademark thinks it is. Hermit the Frog, traumatized orphan brain at it again. Uraraka walked into the cafe with a slight skip in her step, but who could blame her? She finally had a job, her coworkers seemed nice, and she could support herself now. Uraraka, glad you made it, Izuku greeted. The cafe was empty at the moment, but he seemed to be making something. If you go in the back, there will be a small apron for you. Thanks, but what are you making? He nodded to the counter where some cupcakes were sitting. They were vanilla covered in dark blue frosting with white specks, making them look like a galaxy. Mayumi got a new idea and we're testing them out. I can show you some of this stuff, but you'll probably be mostly just making drinks. Cool. She grabbed her apron and tied it before joining Izuku behind the counter. Are they just vanilla? The cake is. The frosting is blueberry and the stars have some lemon in them. They're really good if you want to try one. He handed one to her with a smile, taking one for himself as well. Really? She looked at it before taking a bite. Whoa, this tastes amazing. That's good. I was hoping I got it right, he said a few in the display case. If we have some left over by the end of the night, feel free to take some home. Mayumi lets me take leftovers all the time. Are you sure it's okay? Of course it is. She doesn't want us going hungry and we make most of it ourselves. As long as we don't eat everything, it's fine. As long as you're sure, Izuku. I'm almost always sure. He grabbed a binder and handed it to her. Here's most of our drinks. Some people order different stuff, though, so don't be scared to ask or look it up. We have a few regulars who you'll meet. A few kids around our age actually come in. I help them with homework sometimes, so if you ever need help, feel free to ask or work on it when we're slow. Wow, you guys seem pretty lenient. Well, it was just me and Mayumi for a while, so, he shrugged a little. As long as we don't get a bunch of complaints, then we're fine. He waved his hand a little. Most of the time Mayumi ignored the complaints anyway. They never seemed to affect business. Okay, I guess I'll read this over then. Yep. Then we'll work together to make orders until you feel a little more comfortable to be on your own. Midoriya Himura household. Dog. Mom, how was your first day? Penguin. It was rather interesting. I think I missed working. Dove. That's great, Mom. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Rabbit. She did so. Guad Mayumi was talking about her still when I showed up. Rabbit. She also said someone flirted with you. Penguin. Haha, yes. A very nice woman. Feral cat. Name. Penguin. Dabai. Normal cat. Was she pretty? Bat. What did she tip? Get the bag first and foremost. Panda. Himiko out here asking the important questions. Penguin. She tipped very nicely, as well as her friend, but it's not about money, Himiko. Vet. That's great, Ray. Do you think she'll come back? Penguin, I hope so. Dove, stay safe, Mom. I hope she is nice and treats you right. Feral Cat, if not, I will find this woman. Rabbit, Dabai. Penguin, Dabai. Feral Cat, I will find this woman and tell her how sad you are. Penguin, better. Dog, Elmao Dabai gets scolded by your boyfriend and mom. Feral Cat, at least I have a boyfriend, loser. Panda, Elmao. Feral Cat, you're next. Panda, wait, no. Class 1A. Aizawa Shouta has added Midoriya Izuku, Midoriya Himiko, and Suzuki Himari. Aizawa Shouta has changed their name to Aizawa Sensei. Aizawa Sensei, Principal Nedzu suggested I do this since there's only 3 of you. I'll be muting this so you can all do what you want. Suzuki Himari has changed Aizawa Sensei to Eraser Dad. Suzuki Himari. Eraser Dad, I regret this already. Eraser Dad, before I mute this, on Monday you'll all be coming to the school to do more training. For Midoriya and Suzuki it's to catch up, and for Problem Child it's to get you ready for the new schedule and classes. Midoriya Izuku. Oh, I also wanted to talk to Principal Nedzu about an idea I had to help the classes. Eraser Dad, when you come in Monday you'll have time to talk to him then. Midoriya Izuku. Thank you, Aizawa Sensei. Suzuki Himari has changed Midoriya Izuku to Problem Child trademark. Problem Child trademark / Suzuki Himari DDD. Midoriya Himiko, me next. Suzuki Himari changed Midoriya Himiko to adopted daughter. Suzuki Himari changed their name to stepdaughter. Adopted daughter, adopted? Stepdaughter, I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. Problem Child trademark, we were going to tell you when you were older, we swear. Eraser Dad, once again there is regret. Just make sure to show up Monday, and if you need me then at me. I can't believe this. Himiko jumped up and down while Suzuki and Izuku followed her. I'm actually going to UA to be a hero with my twin and new best friend. This is the greatest day of my life. She practically skipped around, ignoring the looks she got as they walked. Were we like that? Himari, we didn't even know each other until like the 2nd week. The snake-haired girl only shrugged. Once they made it to the gates they could see Aizawa and Nedzu waiting for them. The 3 quickly rushed over with Izuku stopping in front of them. Sorry, Sensei, are we late? Right on time, the teacher ushered them into the gates. I'm going to assume you know the wild cats. The 3 nodded. Good. They'll be here tomorrow to officially start your training. Today Suzuki and Midoriya will be doing a few extra tests and looking over their training plans while Problem Child talks to Nedzu and looks over his new schedule. Yes, Suzuki cheered while Himiko clapped. As soon as Aizawa led the other 2 away, Nedzu turned to Izuku. So my dear student, what is it you wish to talk about? Nedzu liked Izuku. He was an incredibly smart and kind child with a mindset that allowed him to grow more and more. Nedzu had no doubt in his mind that this human child would become an amazing hero. With the full written-out plans in front of him, a recording of how Izuku explained it, and the original notebooks and papers with other half-finished ideas, Nedzu knew he could get this done in a week and fully implemented by the time the 2nd semester rolled around. Oh yes, Izuku Midoriya was going to be an amazing hero, but first, he was going to control the school. How'd the talk go? Suzuki asked as the 3 ran the track. They were on the endurance test, and with Izuku done, he had decided to join them on their tests. Good. Principal Nedzu said my ideas were good, and he would do his best to implement them. Us 3 are going to be the test group though. I love being a test subject, Izuku laughed, shaking his head a little. Since I'm still under Hawk's agency and Maruko wants you under hers, we're both in a good position. He turned to Himiko. Getting you an internship won't happen for a while. I think when we do them again, you'll likely be with the teachers to get extra training, maybe with a volunteer hero. I want to work with someone underground. The other 2 looked surprised. With everything you've all shown me about heroes, I think it's the best idea. Plus, Aizawa-sensei seems really cool. Huh, yeah, that makes sense, Suzuki gasped. Wait, but then it's you two as underground and me alone in the limelight. I can't handle that. Well, actually, both girls looked at him. There's this thing called a Twilight Hero. It's someone who works underground and limelight, kind of a jack of all trades. He began moving his hands as he explained, I'm working on getting my support hero license. I want to be the person my friends and family can lean on when they need something. Then with my hero license, I could go for both. I mean, I wanted to be a hero to save people with a smile, to be the light at the end of the tunnel, and if I'm an underground hero, I can do that. But what about the kids with weak or villain quirks? What about the next quirkless kid? I want to be a known hero, so the next kid that feels worthless or like they aren't enough knows that someone else with the same problems was able to become a hero, become something great. I want to be that symbol of hope for people. Oh my God, Izuku. Suzuki quickly hugged the boy before going back to running. You are amazing. I'm so serious. Izzy, you're the best, and you'll be the best symbol of hope the world's ever seen. The teen blushed under their compliments, but thanked them nonetheless. Midnight lost music privileges. Rat King, good morning teachers. I would like to inform you all, at the end of the week we will be having a mandatory meeting. It will involve changing some of the ways we do things. Proud father, kid gave you his plans, did he? Rat King, you knew and didn't tell me. Proud father, he mumbles all the time. I knew when he first made the plan with Hawks. Cupcake, show lives up to his name. Atiel changed Proud Father's name to Proud Father of 3. Atiel, did you know in the kids' chat they have him as a racer dad? Proud Father of 3. Unrelated, but Zashi won't be showing up to work for the foreseeable future. Rat King, if you kill him, I will take your children away. Proud Father of 3. Once again unrelated, but Zashi is perfectly fine. America Ra, he's been domesticated, oh God. Tilde space tilde, I think it's really nice. I love teaching them. Cupcake, same. Proud Father of 3, none of you have met the third one? Atiel, it's Green Midoriya's sister. How could we not love her? Proud Father of 3, she has an affinity for BLD and knives. BLD Bank, BLD you say? Proud Father of 3, back off. Cupcake, Hizashi, how does it feel to have children you've never met? Atiel, very sad. Proud Father of 3, only my kids. America Ra, I've never seen a racer act like this. Someone please hold me. Toph, I will hold you snipe. America Ra, thanks Cementos. Tilde space tilde. If no one got me, I know Cementos got me. Class 1A. Eraser Dad, I'm putting this here, but Midoriya's, while I can get away with calling one of you Problem Child and the other Midoriya, the other teachers and staff cannot. What preference for names do you have? Problem Child trademark. If it's okay with the staff, they can call me Izuku DD, if not then any nickname works. Adopted daughter, they can all call me Himiko, or Himi, or Coco. Eraser Dad, all right, most of them have agreed to use first names if you're both there. Also, Himiko, don't forget to fill out your paperwork. Still need a hero name. Adopted daughter, got it. Stepdaughter Oo, can we help pick one? Adopted daughter, Zezen yes. How did you guys pick your names? Stepdaughter, I had a Greek mythology phase, so Medusa was born. Problem Child trademark. We made a list of ideas and kinda just threw stuff together until we got something I liked. Adopted daughter. Ichima, I want a vampire name. Stepdaughter. Edward Cullen. Problem Child trademark. No. Stepdaughter. Dracula. Adopted daughter. Not cute. Problem Child trademark. Lilith. Stepdaughter. Two Demon. Adopted daughter. Vampy. Stepdaughter, isn't that just what Bakugu calls you? Adopted daughter, good point. Problem Child trademark, ooh, what about Carmilla? It's a vampire lady and her story was written well before Dracula. but a lot of people still don't know it. Adopted daughter, you could call me Carmi for short. I love it. I am vampire lady. Eraser dad, so Carmilla? Adopted daughter, yes. Eraser dad, I'll write it down. Adopted daughter, thank you father. Okay, so Denki, I was looking over you stuff. The blonde bounced excitedly as Izuku showed the redone drawings, and I was thinking of a few ideas. Let me have 'em, Izuku chuckled and ruffled his hair. All right, so I think maybe something with a cord. You could do a Kaioketsu shoge, maybe replace the knife with something else if you want, but it'll give you longer range attacks without having to overexert yourself. I would like to not fry my brain. You and me both. He flipped to a different page, and here are the gauntlets. I was thinking of having something that can absorb your extra electricity that you can let out without hurting yourself, similar to Kaken's idea. It could also house the cord idea if you wanted. That sounds awesome. I could use them like yours. Denki then stood up and started pretending to shoot things off with a whistle. What's he doing? Hitoshi asked, watching the blonde bounce around with a lifted eyebrow. I'm helping him come up with support item ideas, and I'll show him how to make them. Do you want to join? Usually Kaken joins, but he followed Shouto and Himi to their ballet lessons. Yeah, I know where they are. He flopped onto the couch next to Izuku. Do I have to make them though? No, I can always make them. Cool. I'm too lazy to try and get my brain to work like any of yours. Oh, come on, Hitoshi. Denki jumped onto Hitoshi with a smile, the taller just glaring at him. We could be brain buddies together. No thanks, your brain scares me almost as much as Izuku's. Hey, he smacked his brother on the shoulder, if I'm going to make your support gear, then you better be nice to me. Do I have to bribe you now? Absolutely. Can I bribe you with clearing the house so you and Dabai can be alone, Tilda? Hitoshi. Suzuki, Midoriya, you two will be working with Ragdoll and Tiger to work more on your hand-to-hand. Suzuki, you have a quirk good for rescue and long range, so this will help you get used to fighting close range. Midoriya, your quirk is very situational. This will help you prepare for your fights. Both girls cheered, going to the other heroes to start training. Problem child, you'll be working with Pixie Bob. Do you know why? Her quirk allows her to manipulate the earth, and one of her special moves is creating rock monsters, so I'll be fighting them to see the improvement and how I would deal with larger, stronger opponents. Good, I don't want you using any support items or weapons for the first half. After lunch, you'll be allowed to use all of them. Yes, sir. That seems a little harsh, Eraser, Mandalay commented with a small smirk. If I didn't know any better, I would think you're pushing him too hard. He wants to be pushed, and he needs to be. Aizawa pulled out the teen's new schedule. He has a lot of plans and needs to be ready for anything. Right, Twilight hero with a support license. They both watched as the three teens started training, both the girls doing mostly hand-to-hand against the heroes, while Izuku was dodging monsters. If you aren't careful, other heroes might try to steal him from you, Tilda. I already have to deal with Hawks and Maruko. I'm not dealing with your group too. Ugh, that was so hard. Suzuki slammed her head against the table. I knew Tiger's quirk, but I didn't think she could actually bend that way. I really liked fighting Ragdoll. She kept me on my toes and I got to use my ballet lessons. Himiko immediately dug into her food with a large smile. What about you, Izzy? The other teen was covered in dirt with small bruises and cuts all over him, but he was eating just as quickly as Himiko. It was awesome. I've never seen Pixie Bob's quirk like that up close. They were really hard to beat without my support stuff, but I also thought they would be harder. Izuku, my man, once again you are insane. Suzuki lifted her head. First you hold up a building, and now you're fighting monsters. I can't keep up. I have been training for a while, Izuku hummed to himself. I haven't been doing it recently though. Do you think I should pick it back up again? It would give you an excuse to see Dabai Tilda. The teen nudged his sister, who only laughed harder before they went back to eating. Dabai scrolled on his phone, slightly bored. With school on break, the kids were doing more stuff around the city rather than at the gym. Not that he blamed them. If he didn't work there, he would probably leave too. Yo, Dabai. He looked up to see Haku walking over with a girl around the kid's age. She had short brown hair and big eyes, looking slightly nervous in her workout clothes. This is Uraraka. She's gonna start training her with you. Sound good? Works for me. Haku nodded before leaving the two alone. Name's Dabai. He offered his hand, the girl shaking it with a small smile. So why do you want to train? Well, I plan on going to UA to be a hero. I like to think I'm good with my quirk, but I want to be able to defend myself. He smiled at her spirit. All right then. He got into an easy stance. Go ahead and try to hit me. What? It's all right. I just want to see where we're starting, kid. She nodded, trying to copy his stance before rushing forward. To him, it was clear she hadn't actually been trained before. He didn't doubt that if it came down to it, she would kick someone's ass. But at the moment, it was all just raw strength and instincts. When she threw her hand forward, Dabai easily caught her wrist and pushed it off to the side, throwing off her balance before grabbing her shoulder and pushing her down to one of the mats. Not bad. Uraraka glared at the ground a bit. You have the strength and energy for it, but you just need to training. He offered his hand, waiting for her to grab on before pulling her up. What's your quirk? Zero gravity. Anything I touch with all 5 fingers turns weightless. I'll have to talk to Haku and Sakura, but I think I have some ideas for your training. Do some Parker. Maybe some simple stuff with the ribbons, stuff like that. Her eyes widened a little. You really think so? You think you can train me? Training you will be easy. He ruffled her hair a bit, just like when he was with the others. You want to work hard, you'll work hard and see results. She smiled widely and cheered. I'll work the hardest you've ever seen. You three, all 3 teens stood in front of Aizawa and the cats, all of them covered in dirt, bruises, and bandages. What did we learn today? I need to work on my strength and speed, Himiko happily answered, looking to Tiger specifically. Same with my strength. My snakes can handle a lot, but I can't rely on my quirk too much. Suzuki pet one of the snakes. The poor creature is looking tired. And I need to work on analyzing my situation quicker. All correct. We'll be working on those things tomorrow. But you 3 did good today. Go home and get some rest. Woo! Suzuki jumped onto Izuku's back with a cheer while Himiko clapped. Hey! All 3 stopped. You're still on school grounds. Celebrate when you get home and shower. Yes, sensei. With that the 3 ran off, going back inside to gather their things. Aw, come on, Eraser. Let the little kiddies have fun. I still have a reputation. He then turned back to the school. Midnight. Present Mike. Stop hiding and recording me. We've been got. Scatter. The 2 didn't make it very far with Aizawa using his capture weapon and dragging them back. Hey, babe. Dabai grabbed Izuku's hand and dragged him down to the bed, both of them sighing once they were laid down. How was it today? Exhausting, but I got to fight giant earth monsters. The older lifted a brow, training with the wild cats, but I beat them. Course you did. Izuku moved so he was laying on Dabai's chest, resting his arms under his chin. How was work though? I know the others went on a shopping trip. Not bad. Got a new girl though around their age. Her name's Uraraka. Has a pretty interesting quirk. Wait, she actually went. How'd she do? She's got a lot of raw strength, but how do you KN her? I told you about my other coworker, right? She's working with me at night cause of school and stuff. Dabai hummed. So you told her to go to me? Well, I said she should train at the gym. The fire user laughed. Like you didn't know Ijiro's moms would send her to me. Izuku rolled his eyes. What can I say? I'm good with teens these days. Don't say that, it makes you sound like a grandpa. Well, back in my day, Izuku grabbed one of the pillows and smacked him across the face. Hey, Dabai grabbed his own and hit him back. the two of them quickly getting into stances and trying to hit the other. Izuku was able to pin Dabai to the ground, rearing back to smack him with the pillow. "What are you doing?" They both looked over to see Shoto, Hitoshi, and Himiko standing in the doorway. "Having a pillow fight." "Why?" "Because Dabai acts like a grandpa." Shoto nodded while Hitoshi and Himiko both grabbed more pillows. "Pillow fight!" Hitoshi smacked Izuku while Himiko gave a pillow to Shoto before going after Dabai. "This is unfair. All's fair in love and war." "Is this a fight to the death?" Shoto asked, dodging a hit from Hitoshi. "It is now," Himiko yelped as Izuku tackled her to the ground. "No man left behind." Dabai grabbed Izuku and lifted him off Himiko with a laugh. "We're teaming up now?" None of the teens noticed as their mothers stood in the doorway, subtly watching them all. "I never thought I'd get to see them like this," Ray said with a dreamy smile, "my two sons playing with their friends and family, knowing my other two children are safe in their own homes." Inko chuckled and rubbed the other woman's shoulder. "I never thought I'd have such a full house. I wouldn't trade it for the world." "Me neither." "Long live the queen." Both looked up, seeing Himiko standing on the others while cackling. They shared a look before dissolving into their own laughter. "Not adults, adults." Pet bird, Im1ly. Pet rabbit, Keigo, they're probably all asleep. Actual adult, I'm not, I have school prep. Family doctor, I'm deaf not, college is hell. Single mother, also awake, but for other reasons. Pet bird, Inomia. Single mother insomnia. Family doctor, wake Dabai up. Single mother, no? Actual adult, why would he wake up Dabai? Family doctor, I'd thought it'd be funny. Pet rabbit, do some workouts or some shit that tires me out easy. Pet bird, I usually go flying. Pet bird, kick learn to fly. Single mother, I think I'll just go for a run Elmao. Single mother, I'll go to the cafe too and pick up food so at wine aunt and cousin let me know if you want anything from the cafe. I'll head back before we need to leave for school. Midoriya Himura family. Bat, at rabbit where are you? Aizawa sensei is annoyed. Feral cat, he wasn't at the school either. Bat, nope, we searched and Nedzu even looked through the cameras. Penguin, I haven't seen him at the cafe. Mayumi said he stopped by earlier, but he should have gotten back by now. Vet, I'm asking my coworkers if they've seen him. Dog, he was talking in our other chat earlier. Normal cat, we haven't seen or heard from him either. Mina suggests we all go searching. Vet, as much as I want to find Izuku, we don't know what happened. It's best to stay put just in case. I want at least you and Hitoshi at home in case he comes back. Normal cat, the others are coming with Anjiker. Normal cat, it's Katsuki. I'm dragging their asses home 'cause they're freaking me out. Ai's mom said they'd tell us if he shows up and my parents are keeping an eye out. Vet, thank you honey, make sure they're okay and we'll keep everyone updated. Normal cat, yeah whatever. Not adults, adults. Pet rabbit, still nothing? Actual adult, no, we've contacted Detective Tsukachi, but there isn't much he can do since it hasn't been long. Pet rabbit, of course, me and Birdbrain are keeping our eyes out, but nothing either. Actual adult, thank you for the help Rumi. Pet rabbit, we'll find him guys. Aizawa stood off to the side with his arms crossed. Watching his other two students try to work right now was hell. It was obvious neither of them were paying attention, so filled with worry and panic to focus on what the cats were saying. With a sigh, he pushed off the wall and put a hand on Mandalay's shoulder. She smiled sadly at the man and stepped back. Girls, both their eyes snapped to him, I know you're worried about problem child, but there isn't anything we can do. But there is, Suzuki shouted. Aizawa-sensei, we're heroes in training and Izuku is missing. There has to be something. Himiko nodded next to her, looking closer to tears. Please, Aizawa-sensei, I don't want to lose my brother. The teacher stared at them before sighing. Go change into your costumes. Yes, Himiko, yours is done. Now go. The two raced off into the building as Aizawa pulled his phone out. I still haven't heard anything, Eraser. I know, I'm taking the girls out to help look. We'll frame it as training. They need to feel like they helped. I'll call their parents to let them know. All right, I'll send over a list of where we are and aren't searching. Aizawa thanked the detective before hanging up and looking over the map. We're ready. He turned back to see the girls both dressed up. Himiko's costume was similar to Izuku's, though instead of it being black and white, hers was red and pink with ballet-style shoes and a light pink tutu skirt. Not to mention she didn't have his visor, gauntlets, or hat since she didn't have a need for them. Your costume is good, Himiko. Thank you, Aizawa-sensei. Now, where are we starting the search? Teach. Izuku hummed as he walked down the street, scrolling through his news feed while making mental notes to add information to his notebooks. Watch it, brat. The teen looked up and saw a man glaring down at a little girl. She wore a dirty hospital gown with bandages wrapped around her arms and legs. Her hair was just as ratty and dirty, and there were tears streaming down her face. She ran past the man and almost ran into Izuku, but he easily caught her, moving his to-go bag to his other hand and putting his phone away. Whoa, are you okay? She was hyperventilating as Izuku crouched down in front of her. Hey, can you breathe for me? Take a nice deep breath. She started taking deeper breaths, slowly calming herself down. Good job. Can you tell me what's wrong? I need to run. I don't want to go back. Please don't make me go back. Whoa, hey, it's okay. He rubbed her back as she gripped onto him like a lifeline. Can you tell me what happened? Are you hurt? The little girl looked around. We need to hide. Otherwise he'll find us. Okay, he didn't see anyone suspicious, but he also didn't doubt her. I'll pick you up, okay? We can go to that park nearby and you can tell me what happened, okay? She nodded hesitantly, but let him pick her up. My name's Izuku. Can you tell me yours? Iri. Well, you have a very pretty name, Iri. Now, are you hurt? No, not anymore. Izuku looked to the bandages. There wasn't any visible blood, but he could see a few scars peeking out. That's good. Can you tell me who you were running from? Overhaul. He paused at the name, remembering when Mirio mentioned it. The blonde wanting Izuku's help on the case before night. I said no. Sounds scary, she nodded vigorously. Well, lucky for you, Iri, I'm training to be a hero, so it's my job to protect you from all the scary people. Really? Yep, so we're going to go to the police station and talk to them, all right? I'll make sure he doesn't get a hold of you. Such empty promises. He felt Iri freeze against him before beginning to shake. Slowly Izuku turned around and smiled at the man now behind him. Hi there, and who might you be? The man was lanky with a large coat and a bird mask, like the designs Izuku had seen for plague doctors. I'm her father. Now if you'll return her to me. He held a hand out, but Iri turned away from him, hiding her face in Izuku's shoulder and holding on to him tighter. Tilting his head, Izuku smiled. I'm sorry, but she doesn't seem to want to go with you. I'll just take her to the station, and if you are her father, you can pick her up there. There's no need for all of this. The man took a step forward as Izuku took one back. Iri, come with me and nothing will happen, right? No one will be hurt. The teen felt her slowly let go, but he only put a hand on her back, dropping his bags and holding on to her. Iri, she looked to him with tears in her eyes. Don't go with him unless you want to. I meant what I said. She looked between them before hiding her face again. I don't want to go with him. He nodded and looked back to the man. Sorry, sir, but she doesn't want to go with you. We'll be leaving now. Before they could turn away, though, he reached into his jacket. I must insist you let her go. I would hate for something to happen. Izuku paused and stared at Overhaul. He looked the man over, but there was no way of telling what his quirk was, and Mirio had never mentioned it. He planted his feet and kept a tight grip on Ares, ready to run or dodge at any given moment. Not going to happen. Overhaul stared at them for a moment before whipping a gun out and firing. Only Izuku's training with snipe saved him from a deadly shot to the chest. Instead, the bullet embedded itself into his side. He barely took the time to gasp before he was turning on his heel and running. It was obvious the man was expecting Izuku to collapse, which meant he likely didn't know who Izuku was, and he planned to keep it that way. He could feel Eri start to cry, and he didn't blame her. If he wasn't running on adrenaline by now, he would likely be in a lot more pain. Hearing a few more shots go off, Izuku started running in different patterns and turning down random roads and allies. Silently hopping the noise would get a hero's attention or get someone to call the cops. Turning down another alley, he found a collection of boxes and a dumpster. Carefully setting Eri down, he started moving everything, pushing the dumpster out more before picking her up again. "We're gonna hide behind here, okay? NW, we have to be really quiet." She nodded shakily, whipping her tears before curling closer to him as he moved boxes in front of them. I'm sorry, Izuku quietly shushed her. "It's not your fault. You did nothing wrong." He looked down to his side and saw the trail of blood on his shirt. He hoped the boxes and garbage made it harder to follow if there was a trail. "Okay, Eri, this might be a little scary, so keep your head right here." He put her face against his shoulder, "and don't worry about what happens, okay?" "Oh, okay." He was sure he lost Overhaul at one of the turns, but if he shot him with something other than a regular bullet, then they were in trouble. Lifting up his shirt, he groaned a little before biting down on the fabric and using his free hand to feel the bullet wound before plunging 2 fingers in. The pain was immediate and burning, making it hard to think as he searched for the bullet. Each second searching made more sweat and blood drip down him, but finally his fingers hit metal. Breathing a sigh, he slowly gripped it before yanking it out, trying not to scream as the wound bled more. "Oh, okay, Eri, it's okay." She hiccuped and looked down before quickly hiding her face again. Izuku was about to reach into his pocket to grab his phone when he heard footsteps. "Where did you go?" Garbage was kicked around them as the man walking into the alley, Izuku using his clean hand to cover Eri's mouth in case she made any noise. The girl looked to him terrified, but he only smiled, trying to keep her calm even when he was hurt. More shots rang out around them, Eri flinching with each sound, but she kept quiet like Izuku told her to. "If you just come out, Eri, I'll let him live." The teen only shook his head, not letting the girl go. "I'll even cure him, and you can keep him like a pet. How does that sound?" It was silent for a long time until one more gunshot rang out. This time it did hit Izuku, tearing through his shoulder and landing in the wall behind them. Quickly moving, he bit down on his other hand to stop himself from screaming, trying to breathe through it. After a while, Overhaul finally sighed and began leaving the alley. "Eri's missing. Send everyone out to find her. Kill her if need be." The two sat there for what felt like ages until they were sure he was gone. Izuku moved his hand away from her and felt his shoulder, feeling the exit wound and where it landed in the wall. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I should have." "Eri, you did nothing wrong. I promise." He took a deep breath before shifting around and grabbing his phone. "I'm going to call someone, okay?" Aizawa had been taking the girls around for almost an hour when his phone started ringing. For a moment he assumed it was the detective or Nedzu, but when he looked at the screen he almost fell off the roof they were on. "Problem child, where are you?" Both girls looked at him in shock, getting closer to try and hear the call. I think I'm in an alley not far from T the Night Eye Agency." The teen's voice was shaky and strained, not to mention it sounded like someone else was with him crying. "Izuku, what happened? What's wrong?" Himiko gripped his arm, looking for some form of comfort as they listened. "It's a little, hard to explain. There was shuffling and what sounded like a whimper before the crying got louder. Hey, it's okay, Eri, I promise. I'm okay, it's okay." "Who are you with?" I found this little girl as she was running from this guy, and I grabbed her and ran 'cause there was something off about him, and then he fired a gun at me, and it, hit me in my side. Aizawa moved the phone away for a second and looked to Suzuki. Call the detective and tell him we know where Izuku is, but we need an ambulance for a gunshot wound. She nodded seriously and pulled out her phone while Himiko hiccuped a little. I found a spot to hide, and I, dug the bullet out 'cause I don't know what was in it, which, actually hurt like a lot. I'm sorry, you did nothing wrong, Iri, I promise. None of this is your fault, okay? There was more shuffling before he heard shoes scrapping against the ground. While I was hiding, he came into the alley, started shooting randomly and got my shoulder. It went straight through though. Okay, Aizawa looked to Suzuki again. Tell him 2 gunshot wounds, one straight through on the shoulder and one in the side, but the bullet was dug out. He has a little girl with him too, but he didn't mention any injuries on her. See, can I talk to him? He handed the phone to Himiko with no hesitation. Keep him on the line and follow me. She nodded and began following after Aizawa. Hey Izzy, how are you feeling? Hey Himi, well, I won't say okay, but I'm safe. That's good. We're almost there, I think. She paused to jump over an opening. Who'd you kidnap this time? There was a strained laugh before a deep breath. Do you want to say hi to my sister? Is she nice? Super nice, I promise. There was a little shuffling before the other voice became clearer. Hello. Hi there. My name's Himiko. I'm Izzy's sister. Who are you? She tried to make her voice more cheerful, but it was hard when she knew her brother hurt. Iri. Nice to meet you, Eri. Are you keeping my brother safe? You are Eri. Keeping me super safe, okay? Alright, I'm keeping him safe. Well, thank you, Eri. Can you ask Izzy if he can get out onto the street? MHM. There was some shuffling before Himiko heard Suzuki shout. I see them. All right, Eri, we see you guys. I'll hang up now, okay? Keep my brother safe. I'll try. Himiko took a deep breath before ending the call and following Aizawa and Suzuki down. Shit, man, we've got to stop seeing you like this. Himiko had to agree with her. Izuku stood in front of them with blooding dripping down from his shoulder and side, not to mention his own hands having blood on them, likely from either trying to stop the bleeding or digging the bullets out. The girl didn't seem hurt though, terrified more than anything, as she clung to Izuku tightly. We have police and an ambulance on the way, kid. Izuku nodded a little sluggishly. Are you okay? Dizzy? Just tired, honestly. I think the adrenaline finally wore off. Aizawa nodded and stepped closer, carefully feeling around the wounds as the 2 girls stood there, unsure what to do. Hey, Ere, do you want to go with them for a moment? She stared at him, still having tears falling. It's okay if you want to stay. I don't want to leave you. You wouldn't be leaving me, I promise. They'll stand right here, okay? She hesitated before reaching towards Himiko, the blonde easily grabbing her and standing as close to Izuku as possible. While Aizawa did his best to assess the damage, the girls began trying to distract Iri and calm her down. I bet it was super scary, wasn't it? Suzuki asked, pushing some of Iri's hair out of her face. I didn't want him hurt. Himiko hugged the girl closer, offering some comfort. Wanna know a secret, Iri? The first time me and Izuku met, he held up a building for me. Really? Yep, and I was super scared because I didn't want to be hurt, but I didn't want him to be hurt either. He got a little hurt, but then he was all better. So we'll make sure he's all better now too, okay? So don't worry too much. Iri nodded, looking much better after the short story. Did you know me and Izuku are twins? What's a T-twin? Himiko had to think for a moment. Well, a twin is when 2 siblings have the same birthday and look alike. But you don't look alike. The blonde hesitated before reaching into one of her pockets and pulling out a small vial of blood, taking a small sip and listening to Eri gasp. Now we do. The little girl looked amazed. It's my quirk. If I drink someone's blood, I can turn into them. Oh. I can turn my hair into snakes. Suzuki made part of her hair turn into a few snakes. You can pet them. They're super nice. She was still hesitant, but slowly the girl began to pet one, giggling when its tongue licked her hand. All right, children. They all looked to Aizawa, who was helping support Izuku. The ambulance and detective are almost here. We'll ride with Izuku while the police try and find the person that did this. Make sure to let the others know what's happening. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through What If Deku Was Class 1A's Senior. I hope you found it as intriguing and thought-provoking as we did. A big shout-out to Jace_is_dead for crafting such a compelling story. Don't forget to check out their profile on Archive of Our Own for more amazing works. The link is in the description below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to What If Deku 2.0 for more fascinating explorations into the world of fanfiction and fantasy. Your support helps us create more content like this, and we're always excited to hear your thoughts and suggestions in the comments section. See you guys in the next video.